welcome to the opening of the 2024 rugby season. New players, new ambitions, new storylines, new rivalries, and a new competition. We are here at Larkhill Sporting Complex, home of the Rockingham Rugby Club, for round one of the all-new Rendezvous Scarborough Challenge Cup, and they will be taking on the visitors today, UWA. My name's Jason Marable, and I'm joined by the Rugby WA legend, that is Dane Lazarus. Dane, how excited are you for the start of the rugby season here in WA?
We've been hanging out for this, Jason. It's been a long off season, so by the time we get rugby underway, and it's a beautiful day down here at Rockingham. A little bit breezy in your gust report.
There is. I'll give you a wind report in a little bit there, Dane, as I traditionally do. But just for people tuning in and to give them a bit of a roundup of what we're looking at today, this is a brand new competition to start the rugby season here for the senior men's. It's the Scarborough Rendezvous Challenge Cup. So it's a knockout cup competition, 3 rounds and then a final, and it is 16 teams, so it's teams from across the Premier Grade competition and teams from the Championship competition as well. So drawn randomly, you can get anybody, and this game, Rockingham, drawn as the home team, are taking on last year's third place in the Premier Grade, University of WA, and here they come running out now. So suffice it to say, it'll be a challenge for Rockingham as the home team. UWA would go into this as the favourites, but I think there's a lot of teams out there today that are sniffing a bit of an upset. What do you think?
Yeah, definitely, and I think the championship teams have a lot to prove here, Jason. It's a good opportunity to see where they're at in early doors, and no doubt they'll be ready to take a scalp or two in this first round of the competition.
I know everyone wants to be that underdog team that gets the win in round one and knocks out a big boy, but conversely, nobody wants to be the team that gets knocked out in round one. So the lineups for the Premier Grade teams that we've seen come through on Friday night and posted on social media are pretty strong, and it's great to see they're taking the competition seriously.
Definitely, and as we look at the UW team there, Jason, there's a couple of notable names there. One of them at hooker, Dante Tatafu. It's a big in for UWA this year. Dante is a previous Rugby WA and Western Force Academy player, and he's come across from Bayswater, so it's a big in for them at the hooker position. He'll add a bit of oomph, and then Reggie Churchwood and Rory O'Sullivan, are definitely two names that will no doubt be calling a fair bit today for the UW team. And on the bench they have Ronan Leahy. It would be exciting to see him play. He's done a lot of good things with the Western Force in the pre-season matches, and someone to watch as well across the year. For the Rockingham team, Jason, a big one there at their tight head prop, crucial position as always, and no doubt Greg Holmes will be keeping an eye on him. But Vion Van Baalen played in our under 19s, under 18s, and recently in the under 20s competition. So it'll be a good one to watch there, Vion. And I'm excited to see the backline. Some big names there: Chase Coatia, Jordan Farmasili, someone there that we're going to see maybe put a bit of impact against the UWA team. But here come the Rockingham team, Jason, for their first game of the year. They look excited.
Yeah, loving the purple and gold kit there. Obviously UWA in the green and gold, but and a nice little crowd down here at Larkhill as well. It really is a beautiful, beautiful facility to play rugby.
That's cool.
And the referee for today's game is Petrus Van Arsvegen with his 2 ARs, Lance Anderson Hainsworth and Angus McMillan running touch today. So a reminder of the format: slightly shorter halves today, 2 35-minute halves. Both teams will have a full bench of 8, but they can make 12 movements. So someone can go off for a bit of a rest and come back on a little bit later if they need to. And the way this Challenge Cup competition works as well is that if you lose, you go into a shield pool, and you're guaranteed 3 games at the beginning of the season. So there's a shield, the cup, the bowl. The trophies look absolutely beautiful as well. So some great silverware on the line. And the winner, or the final I should say, will be a curtain raiser at HBF Park as a opener for the Western Force beat Brumbies game on the WA Day long weekend. As we get things underway here, UWA putting a nice high ball on, and UWA contesting that there was Oscar Anderson, but he's knocked the ball forward and Rockingham have it just outside their 22. So they'll look to set up for a clearance. And good little rumble there forward by the Rockingham rugby team. And they'll look to spread it early, and a little bit of a juggling ball out there on the wing. That's Caleb O'Brien, just couldn't get his mitts around that one, but they did have the penalty advantage there for offside. So UWA looking to set a tone early, but just finding themselves in an offside position coming up quickly. So Rockingham will get the opportunity to throw out in the line out after the penalty. And as you can probably hear through the microphone, it is a bit of a gusty, windy one today. Beautiful conditions. It's 28 degrees, but the wind is blowing pretty much into your screen, so favouring the kickers when they're kicking towards touch at this side.
And first line out here for Rockingham, and it's a stiff breeze, as you mentioned, Jason. We'll see how the line out throwers go.
Yeah, Craig Johnson, first line out of the year, no pressure. And it is just misses his jumper there, overthrown, and UWA will come away with it. Phil Sawulu having a look at him at the number 9 position early on for UWA, and they move it through the midfield here. Sawulu now goes out to Caleb Young. Can we call Caleb Young a veteran, Dane? Is he still too young to be a veteran, or?
He's been around a fair bit in the Prem grade scene, so I definitely think he's one of the more stalwarts of the competition. Always up there with point scoring.
Big carry there by Joshua Hill into contact, the big lock. And that's a great run there by the big number 8, Phil Sawulu, with the try score. Just holding the ball in one hand there like it was...
Is that a full-size ball, Jason?
I was about to say, well, they play him with a size 3 because he made that look very small there. And as I said, he looks like a big lad running with the number 8. He had big Reggie Churchwood outside him as well. So I think there was probably a few people glad that he didn't hand the ball off there, because the man they would have had to tackle would have been equally difficult to bring down. But yeah, great run there by Phil Sawulu, and we'll see Caleb Young's first kicker goal for the year. It'll be a difficult one with this breeze because he is kicking into that gusty wind, but good early tone setter there by the students from the library. And Dane, I know it wouldn't have happened very much in your playing career, but how do you approach a game if you're Rockingham? You know you're coming up against a very strong team. You're probably not expected to win it. What's the mindset to try and get something out of the game and be competitive?
Having been in many a team that wasn't quite up to it, Jason, and I might have been the leader of those teams. The thing here is just to front up and defensively as best you can, all right? You may not get a lot of ball in hand, but you can set a tone for your game and for your teammates by putting on a good shot, good legal hit, putting the opposition on the back foot. And I think that's where Rockingham actually have a really good opportunity. They're quite a physical bunch. They've always have been. Their junior teams and their senior teams have always managed to put on big physical hits. And I think their set piece is going to be crucial as well to put the opposition under pressure. So going from set piece to set piece and those big hits to slow it down are going to be crucial. Not ideal, not getting a 10. And we said go set piece to set piece, and they've done just that, Jason.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, they've certainly got some big bodies out there, so there's a few boys that'll be looking to put a few shots on, but they'll just need that base when they, like you, Dane. I think I went into every game being the underdog, so I don't know what it's like the other way around, but
it'll be a good first hit out here to see both front rows, Jason. As I mentioned earlier, Dante Tatafu and Reggie Churchwood for UWA, but equally we've got Vion Van Balen, who I know quite well, lining up for Rockingham, so this could be a great matchup.
Yeah, interested to see the UWA tight head Reggie Churchwood been training with the force, so UWA certainly not mucking around early doors as they get the feet at the scrum here on halfway, and they get a good shove on, good clean ball out the back, and there's a big run there for the 13 That's Thomas Anderson, puts on a bit of a step. The Rockingham players go high and bring him down. The ball pops out, and fortuitous there for Rockingham. Some good work to get the ball there from Tom Anderson, and geez, number Geordie Bongard going a bit high there in the number 7, getting sat down, but Rockingham will look to exit now.
Yeah, just stripped out there by the Rockingham player on number 13 there from UWA, and ended up being a penalty, option for a penalty, one for diving off his feet onto a player who was on the ground already, so not safe play, and that's the penalty. Actually tackling without the ball was another one there. So Rocky get a chance to clear their lines. Let's always make sure of it, get it into touch, as we saw from that first line out. It's not easy here, and Craig Johnston will have another shot, and I'm sure the team will look to go front of the line out just to make it a bit easier for their thrower. But in saying that, Jason, for the UWA team, Van der Hayden, big number 4 here, 205 centimeters, 18-year-old, exciting prospect.
And Craig Johnson with the throw, and goes UWA's way again now. There's 11, that's Oscar Anderson coming away with it, passing it wide now to the far wing. Some great speed there by Hugh O'Sullivan it is. And now pops it to Joshua Hill, and Joshua Hill breaks through the line untouched for UWA second. So a good move there by the students, moving it left to right and then finding a big lock, who fair bit of speed for a big man.
Absolutely, and again, it's that disruption at the line out, Jason. It's going to be tough all day there for the throwers, and Craig Johnson not been able to hit the mark twice now. They may need to shorten up their line out if they want to make it more effective, try beat them, less numbers and more speed. But yes, UWA shifting that ball wide nicely, playing into quite a big breeze from right to left, heading towards the post. So good chance, good opportunity to get the ball out wide. Rory O'Sullivan, normally we see him at 10 for UWA. He's playing at fullback, so he'll have a bit more freedom, and he's electric and elusive, so it's good to see him in the wide channels.
And a kick successful, so the students go up 14 zip. So speaking of that, do we expect to see Rory O'Sullivan playing at the fullback position this year, do you think, or is it just head coach Alex Steiker giving an opportunity to Connor Hughes at the fly half to have a look at what he can do?
I think this is where the Challenge Cup will be a really good testing ground for all teams, Jason. Whilst they're still the champ, their trophy at the end, and they still want to come away with it, but coaches like Alex are going to have a look at players in different positions, because back into the season, as you know, injuries, players away, you need to be able to be playing multiple positions. Rocky have a good opportunity here, Jason. Not much distance in the clearance of the kickoff, so they're playing into a very stiff breeze, UWA.
I'm sure Craig Johnson would have wished that his first 3 lineouts were from the other side of the field, but he's got to have another one now.
And as I mentioned, Jason, look to shorten up the lineout. They have.
And that's back into touch off a UWA player, or is it? It is, so they'll have a third crack at it now. See if they can get that line out working. It's going to be key to their success today. And picked off again. You called it, Dana's. Great height in the jump there by the students, and as they come away with the ball rumbling forward there through the halfback. Jarvis Wallace it was, but it's a penalty here against the students. So Rockingham again can go back to the drawing board with that line. Like Joshua Hill, he's a big unit, he's a tall lad. And they've got 2 very tall locks there that are getting up at the line out and causing real disruption for Rockingham, not letting them get into their rhythm. So they might need to think of either it's a call to the back here to the shorter blokes, try and go long, try and throw a move at the front, something that's going to work for them, because I think the Joshua Hill and Van der Hayden are going to pick these off all day.
Yeah, absolutely. You want to be able to move that front pod, Jason. Either get them off the ground early and keep it low, or get them moving backwards and still trying to attack in front of them. But 205 centimeters, he has an absolute mountain of a wingspan there, so it'll be tough all day. But Craig Johnson here gets another opportunity. Lots of practice early doors. Kept it a little bit lower.
Good one, that's right. But UWA might have disrupted the ball here. It's through that number 4, Van der Hayden, and it's a maul here, but it's going to be very hard for Rockingham to get that ball to the back. And it's all got a little bit messy here. They are making some ground, but I can't see the pill having made its way to the back of that maul. And again, it's held up. Everyone's having a little bit of a cuddle here at the start of the season, and it's a good rolling one here from Rockingham. And even though they can't get the ball to the back, is that a penalty? The referee might have put his arm out there. He has given the penalty, so for collapsing the maul. Probably lucky there, Rockingham, because I didn't actually see them get the ball to the back. So I think it was Van der Hayden probably got his mitts on it after the line. They're going to go a quick tap here, and that's the big number 6 for Andrew Telly for Rockingham. A good opportunity here for the championship team to find some points on the board. They're going to keep it close and rumble over. They've got some big bodies around it. It's coming out a little bit slow there as it's a pretty big ruck. And they go with the pick and go again. Hard to see who's come away with that, but he's taken to ground just only a few feet out. Referee telling the students to stay outside. Goes to 10. Now the big number 12.
Caleb Gibson, and a penalty again against the students. This one offside, I believe. They take the quick tap, and it goes to the big number 3, Van Balen. And what's the referee called here, Dane? So I think a player was down injured, Jason, and just got a bit dangerous, getting close to that player on the floor. So just calling time off and allowing the player to be seen here by the medics. But I think that penalty just under the post there, Jason, was for high contact. With the new tackle height laws that have come into effect across Australia, this will be a challenge and a change of mentality for players who are going for ball to try hold them up, just to get it right, hit under that midline of the chest, and then lock in the ball. But nothing more than just a penalty. Again, trying to get away from that head contact. And it looks as though Rockingham have realised that maybe not going to lineouts could actually help them keep the ball a bit more. We have a scrum to Rockingham after that play. As mentioned, the player down on the floor was injured, just needed to be seen. And yeah, we have Rockingham with a great attacking opportunity. One thing I will say, their backline's sitting quite deep, which you wouldn't want to do it off the attacking scrum. You want to creep and take as much meters as you can early. But we'll see how their number 10, Marshall Love, looks to play this one. Want to get quick ball here from their pack and not allow Reggie Churchwood to dominate on that tight head side. Yeah, they're set up here as well. They've got a pretty big number 12 in Caleb Gibson as well, who looks like he's ready to get his hands on the pill the way they're setting up there. But the 13 on the outside of him's he's not a small bloke either. Jordan Farmasili, yeah. Good rugby name, that one. Get it stable, the ball goes in, UWA get a shove on, and the Rockingham pack is going backwards, and they earn the penalty, the students. So set piece is proving pretty crucial, and they've obviously spent some time. I mean, they've got some pretty good pedigree up the front there, UWA. It's going to be a tall order for some of those Rockingham front rowers to compete against a Western Force caliber player. And they need to be able to get that ball through channel 1 there, Jason. Be able to strike, get it back quickly, get it to the number 8 feet, and number 9, get it out as quick as you can. But it's going to be very challenging, and a rightful penalty there for UWA. And now we have Dante Tatafu for UWA getting his first opportunity as a line-up. Let's see if it's easier for him. but this wind is really going to prove tough. He does have a 205 centimeter tall target, so I think he should be okay.
And he does go to Van der Hayden, brings it down nicely now, and that's Hughes. Actually, that's the number 6, Zach Oosthuizen, taking the ball forward into contact. And Hughes now takes a high ball in. That's Caleb Young, sorry. And the students now getting past gain line pretty easily. And it's a little chip and chase, but it's a penalty to Rockingham. So this is one area of the game that they are having some ascendancy now with the 2 penalties when they haven't been in possession. So a nice relieving one there. That one, I believe, was hands in the ruck from the offensive penalty for UWA. So now we'll get our chance to see them try a line out with the wind at their back.
Yeah, I'd like to see them be a little bit more direct here, Rockingham. So ball in, ball out, and then go direct through UW. That's where they're going to find some success, I believe. A few numbers moving in and out there by UWA. And Craig Johnston ready to line. Well done. Good speed.
Just the knock on there, I think, the referee, maybe not.
This wind is proving tough. Caleb Gibson puts it downfield, down the middle, finds the grass. And hopefully that doesn't go too far. It's sitting up nicely.
Here we go. Opportunity for O'Sullivan now to have a bit of a run in broken field. And geez, he's got a lot of space to run into. Oh, look, he's running through with ease here. Puts the ball up. And it's just knocked on by the students there. Things were looking a little bit ominous there with O'Sullivan looking forward. Acres of space in front of him. The referee has a bit of a double tap of the whistle. He wants a bit of a chat with someone here. Actually, it wasn't a bad kick, but the skill of Rory O'Sullivan bringing that back, put a couple of step in, running through a few tired bodies. But referee Petrus Van Arsvagen just wants to have a chat to the 2 captains here. Interesting to see what he's saying. Might be talking about. What's he talking about, Taylor? Can you lip read from here?
Not quite, Jason, but he mentioned by signals that it was a player taken off the ball or late. Maybe Rory O'Sullivan just in that last pass to number 14 there from UWA, Hugh O'Sullivan. Great run by Rory. That's the difference that he can bring from fullback compared to 10, Jason. Open space running. He's very elusive, and no doubt he's going to be relishing the opportunity for that space. And if Rockingham don't get their line sorted on their kick chase, that could be where Rory exploits them.
Right, we get a chance to have a look at Dante Tatafu throw in the line out here for the students. Right on their 22. Just outside it, I should say. And they go to the back to Hill. He brings it down. They'll have a look at a bit of a rolling walk here, and they're trudging the ball forward 5-10 metres. The students have got a good setup there, but it's slowed down by Rockingham. Starting to move sideways illegally though. Tatafu comes forward with the ball. It's knocked on by Rockingham. Young goes out the back now. Long ball to 13. And Anderson the ball just bouncing off his chest there when he had acres of space. The try was going. They do have the penalty here, the students though. So the 9, he's taking a quick tap now. And he gives it, he goes through and scores the try, taking advantage of some tired Rockingham legs there with the quick tap. Good heads up play there by the 9, Jarvis Wallace, and ran over to the mark and realised that everyone thought they were going to set up for another rolling maul, went to sleep a little bit there and ran in for an easy 5-pointer.
Yeah, so just giving away the penalty there from that maul, players coming in from the side, not coming in from the last foot, which was an easy call there, but UWA are showing a few of their It plays early doors here, Jason. That could be giving away a few trade secrets for the rest of the season. And no doubt the other Prem grade teams will be looking at how they're operating at their line out, how their more effective is in their scrums. And it looks like Greg Holmes, coach for UWA, has done an outstanding job at set piece.
Yeah, it's actually been a staple of the students' game for the last few seasons, and yeah, it is nice when you can have a Wallaby as your set piece coach, and early doors, the scrum, the line out looks to be working well. And I guess early in the season, that's what you want to set your platform is. If you get those things working round one, it sets you up for the season, doesn't it?
Absolutely, and we see Caleb Young here. He can kick, but this breeze will challenge him. Want to keep it low. As an ex-goal kicker myself, Jason, that's what I'd be doing.
And he's kicked it into the breeze and it's coming back, and that is an absolute peach of a conversion. The way he put that about five metres for the left hand upright, and it just swung back in nicely. So yeah, obviously dialed in the early season. UWA, they actually tend to start the season pretty strongly. They've been top of the Premier grade for the first half of the season for the last few years. So they start strong. Last year, it was a great semi-final. You and I called it out at Bennett Park against West. They didn't quite have the ability just to get up right at the end there, but they're generally at the top of the table most of the season, the students, aren't they?
Absolutely, and got a lot of young fellas that are in their team, which is helping them at the back end of the season, not having tired old bodies running around, which always helps. But we'll see how they go with this early competition, the Rendezvous Scarborough Challenge Cup. See how their legs are at the back end of the year. But here we are with UWA setting it up nicely, looking to box kick.
Yeah, it's a good kick by Wallace as well, and the number 9 from
Toulon.
Just unfortunately the wind probably it looks easy on the camera, but that ball was probably moving left to right and all over the place with him underneath it, with the way that the breeze is at the moment. So not an easy one for him to take. And then obviously a Rockingham player in front of him picking up the ball. So that's an offside penalty to the students, and Caleb Young dialed in at the moment, puts the ball into the 22, and we get to have a look at what they throw at them from the line out here, the students.
One thing that wouldn't have helped there, Toulon, the number 9 for Rocky, would have been the sun either, Jason. So the wind and the sun not favouring him on that occasion.
He's probably thinking, give me a break, come on guys. Round 1 of the season, it doesn't get much tougher. And they go to the back now to Hill. He brings it down, they set up the rolling ball, but heads up play there by Hill, and he goes in for his second try of the day, the big lock. Rockingham didn't contest at them all, trying to be a bit cheeky. UWA said, okay, just turned around, but there was no one there to tackle him because they weren't contesting it. So good heads up play by the students, and Hill's got himself 2, so he might be one to watch throughout the season. Looks a handy player.
Yeah, and that's a very smart play there, because you always want to be able to set up that maul and be nice and strong as the lifter, as the jumper coming down and passing the ball back. But as soon as he felt no pressure coming onto him, he turned and ran, and it opened up for him, Jason, really easily. So a good heads up play, and we talk about game sense and footy smarts, and that was a footy smart opportunity there, and he took it.
Yeah, so a little bit more about the Rockingham Rugby Club. They play in the Championship Division, and last season they finished in third place on the ladder, same as the UWA rugby team in the Premier grade. They got an upset in the semi-final against Mandurah, who'd been second place and first place fighting out with Bunbury all season. They found themselves in the grand final, and it was a bit of an arm wrestle of a grand final with the eventual champions and minor premiers of the championship, Bunbury Barbarians, just getting up at the death. So they came within a whisker of winning the championship last year, with the Barbarians scoring a try in the last few minutes of the game to seal it. So they'll go into this season buoyed by this, and although this will be a tough fixture for them, it'll probably set them in a good standing for that championship season over the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, I agree, Jason, and I think for all teams, this competition is exactly that, allowing the teams to understand what they need to do come season time. As we all know, we want to take away that prize in season. Pre-season cups are great, but if you miss that one but you set your season up nicely, then that's the win.
As said, so the next round of the Challenge Cup, round 2, will be the weekend after the Easter long break. So there'll be a few bodies that can have a fortnight recovery before they meet again, and Rockingham will still have a game next week against a team as well. So everyone gets a guaranteed 3 games in this competition as Oosthuizen brings the ball forward, fielding most of the kickoffs for them today. And the big number 8 there, Soalu. Ball forward. Wallace setting up for the box kick again. He'll try it again. And that ball is moved. That has moved an absolute heap in the breeze. And the number 10 does a great job, Connor Hughes, in bringing that down. The hooker, Tutafu, calls for it out the back to Young. Now out the back to number 12, and here's O'Sullivan, the fullback, coming 48 players in front of him, too quick for him. He now goes out to the winger there, Anderson, who's going to go over and score, or is it actually the other winger, O'Sullivan, I think? It is, the number 14. So I'm assuming, do you know, are they brothers, Dane, or?
No, Rory's brother Connor is actually with the Island Sevens team.
Yep.
So he's playing around on the World Sevens circuit, which is outstanding. So Connor O'Sullivan, and people would know him from winning the PG Hampshire a couple of years ago as a number 7 for UWA, and he's been picked up by Ireland to play for the Sevens, and yeah, in Perth, got an opportunity to be on the field and is looking really good there. Glad that he's made it, and a young player that has come through the WA pathways and got an opportunity at international footy. But we come back to Perth, yeah, Jason, Caleb Young, another kick. Again, more practice for him, and he slots that one from in front of the post. So we have UWA up 35 points to 0 over Rockingham here in the first half. Jace, how can Rockingham get themselves back into this game?
Oh, I think get their hands on the ball first of all. Maybe probably just slow things down a little bit in possession. I think probably avoiding the line out where possible. But I think I'd like to see a couple of their loose forwards just get through some phases. Just target to see if we can get through 3 to 5 phases, and before they can launch the backs, and just I think try and slow things down a little bit at the breakdown as well for UWA. It's a difficult one because the students obviously look at how much that ball just moved in the wind there, as the Rockingham winger unfortunately grabs that one. O'Brien, bit of an awkward bounce and takes it into touch. So it's just a bit of the body language. Obviously it's pretty tough, you under the pump, but the Rockingham players just need a few boys to put their hand up, put in a big shot maybe, get this Lark Hill crowd around them, give them something to cheer about.
Yeah, Dante's been throwing quite nicely here for UWA. They'll go to their usual spread and then use speed across the ground.
And Wallace to Hughes now, brings it out to Sawalu. I mean, that's a good hit there by the Rockingham player, the big number 12. So he gets back in the line, but they're just getting really quick ball at the moment. And as you can see, the students bumping off a few tackles there now is the big man himself. Great effort there inside the 22 to go wide now. Sawalu to O'Sullivan, throws a few dummies. Oh, great ball out the back of the hands to the big prop, Derek Apiar. Great try there, O'Sullivan, out the back of the hands into contact, and the students are running right here in the back line, going left to right over the field. I think I'm going to ask you that question back. What do you do here defensively if you're Rockingham? How do you slow it down, Dane?
Yeah, the first up tackles is crucial here though, Jason. So if you're not making your first up tackle, you're backpedaling on a defense and you're not being able to set your line, and UWA are getting quick ball, getting into their wings and making this big Rockingham pack move side to side, which is just tiring them out. So for me, Rockingham need to really sharpen up on their first up tackles. If they're able to stop that momentum, that's when they can start slowing the ball down at the breakdown. But yeah, it's going to be a bit of a long day here. They have made a change, Rockingham. We'll just get an update on who that is, but hopefully some fresh legs here and a bit of feedback from the coaches on what to do. How are we going to shift the ball, or how are we going to sharpen up our D line will be crucial.
Yeah, it was a good shot put in there by the Rockingham inside centre there, Caleb Gibson. came up out of the line, put a big shot on, but he didn't have the players around him to then put a second shot on and get the students going backwards. They got quick ball, and then the defensive line a little bit out of position. But as Caleb misses that one, so he's not perfect. He is human. As the students are up 40-0 here at the Larkhill Sporting Complex, and tune in and give you a bit of a score update as Rockingham players make their way back for the restart, sucking in a few big ones, a few of them.
And that one goes long, left.
And we'll come back for a scrum. So the radar just a little bit out there. So I'm going to give you some updates on some scores here. Dane for some other fixtures in round one. Cottesloe Mandurah, that's a great one at Harvey Field. Gee, if it's blowing like this here, who knows what's happening at Harvey Field. But Cottesloe are up 19 zip, so Mandurah going good there. Joondalup playing Palmyra up at HBF Arena, and they are up 7 zip against the champions. Close one at Wanneroo against West Scarborough at Kingsway Sporting Complex at the moment. The Roo Dogs 3 points back from that one, 7-10 with West up. Perth Bayswater v Kalamunda Barnburner, it's 5-all. And they've got Western Force player Atu Molly running out for Kalamunda today, so they aren't mucking around. Soaks are heading down to the championship winning team, the Bunbury Barbarians, and they weren't mucking around with their lineup. They're up 26 zip, and Southern Lions up 17 zip against the Kwinana Bulls. As Rory O'Sullivan here just having his way, pops it, the ball goes forward on that one just at the last, and Rockingham clean up. An opportunity for them to see if they can clear outside their 22. It's ripped free by the UWA students. And it's a knock on by Rockingham, so the students will get a feed here late in the first half.
Yeah, big tackle there by Sawalu, and the number 9, Wallace, holding up Toulon, which he was on the back foot the whole time, and a bit harsh there. I thought the ball was ripped out there by Sawalu, but the referee saw it differently, and the referee's always right. And so we have a scrum here to UWA. One thing I did like, that Wallace tapping his number 8 at the scrum at halfway there, telling him to use it. We want to play, we want to run, and that's how you're going to see where you're at going into the season, Jason. You don't want to be going from penalty to penalty. You want to actually use the ball, you know, blow out all those cobwebs and to get all the rust off it, and so we can hit the season in full swing. So here we have another scrum by UW, keeping it square. He's used it. Toulon didn't really want it, neither did the referee.
I was about to say, had the biggest man in the field running into him, and yeah, he looks impressive, the number 8 for UWA. Is he new for them, Dane, or has he been around for a while?
I'm not too sure, Jason. I haven't seen him around, but a great addition to the club competition here in Perth, and no doubt that he'll be someone that'll be getting looked at, I'm sure, by Simon Cron.
Yeah, he's a big unit, and he keeps running around with the ball in one hand, makes it look like a size 3. Loves that ball in one hand there, so it's entertaining to watch. As they set up here for a scrum with only a few ticks left on the clock in this first half.
Yeah, we got Johnston that's just down a little bit from that last scrum. Looks to be holding his neck, which isn't a good sign, and hopefully he's okay. It's just going to take a bit of a moment here to catch his breath. Doesn't seem like too many people are too worried, so this could just be a little bit, hopefully, of a slow the play down and let his team catch their breath. He's up now, which is great to see, and we have a substitution here for Rockingham in the front row. So fresh legs in the front row. UWA have been very, very efficient at set piece here, Jason, so no doubt Reggie, Dante and Avia have all connected really well in the off season and pre-season, and built a strong liking to getting into this area of the game.
And we'll look at the UWA scrum. Good hit from both teams there, and now the ball's been fed. That's a good defensive scrum from Rockingham there, holding up. Hughes now goes to Young, to Anderson. That ball's gone forward surely, and the referee has seen that one, picked it up. So actually a good defensive set piece there for Rockingham. Held it up, came up, put Young under a bit of pressure, and Anderson, and they got a result. So I mean, it's small wins now here at half time for the Rockingham team, but they've held them at 40 in the first half. So the players will take a bit of a break, coaches will get some advice into them, and we'll be back in a few moments.
Proud of the ladies, proud of our club, proud to be a part of this team.
Peak Testament Grand Final Day, there's nothing quite like it. How's the atmosphere down on the ground?
Yeah, the atmosphere is building here beautifully down here at Tompkins Park.
It's awesome, eh? It's been a long season, and it all comes down to this, eh? Living in this moment. Now we've got a whole summer to enjoy it.
Listen McGinn, gonna sign the screen.
Have stolen this match from Wanneroo.
Hard, baby, let's go!
We've worked harder than they have in that last 40 minutes. We've got a big 40 ahead of us.
Short side, spots the half gap, doesn't kill Barry. Ball comes loose. Since 1991, he moves into it, the charge down.
To be honest, the biggest emotion is relief. There's been a lot of hard work that's got into us, and just to know that the players, the old boys, the management, the coaches have got a result, I'm massively relieved, and then just incredibly proud of the playing group. They've done so well this year.
Hill Sporting Complex for the second half of round 1 of the Rendezvous Scarborough Challenge Cup. And it is the UWA team up big, a pretty impressive first half from them, 40-0. Rockingham will be looking to finish the game strong, maybe get some points on the board, but at the moment it's a bit of an uphill battle for the home team. And referee Petrus gets us underway, and as you can see, that wind absolutely playing absolutely havoc with the kickoff there for the Rockingham team, so still not able to account for that breeze. I mean, I assume it's breezy down here most Saturdays, but particularly gusty today. I'll give you, I think it's 20 to 40 with gusts of up to 50, Dane. That's my my stereotypical wind report.
Yeah, Chase Kahatia there, just unable to connect well with that ball into the breeze, and we have a UW scrum. Very strong in the first half. They'll look to replicate it. Rockingham have been much better in the last 2 scrums as they release to the left. Rory O'Sullivan, Tiam Tufan from the Western Force under 20s.
Oh wow, look at that. It's a great sidestep and a great pass by Tiam now as the number 20, Alex Bradley Moore for UWA, but again, great start there by the students. They've obviously made some changes now, an opportunity to look at a few of the players, but tell us a little bit about Tiam Tufan, Dane. He's been playing for the Australian under-19s as a winger. Tell us a little bit about him.
Yeah, Tiam, Hale boy, hasn't been playing rugby for very long, Jason. Actually was a soccer player, so came across quite late, around 15, 16 years of age, into rugby. And one thing he found out was he's somewhat pretty good at it, Jason. So
looks like
strong ball carrier. I was lucky enough to see him at a training session with Rugby WA under 18s last year, and he did a goal line dropout that went 65 meters on the fly, Jason, no wind to speak of. And yes, he's a very, very dynamic runner, loves to take contact on, and no doubt we'll see him get his hands on the ball. He'll go looking for a bit of work, and really, really exceptional player, and great to have him part of the Western Force Academy and on that junior Wallaby radar, Jason.
Well, geez, I tell you what, that's not a bad effort straight off the bench. He's still just stretching his hamstrings on the field, so hasn't even warmed up, and he's already set up a try. So it's not bad, not hard work. He can get it there. So be exciting to see him throughout the season.
Absolutely. Hopefully the haircut can sharpen up as we go on, but early doors won't hold it against him.
And
so Rockingham will be looking to try and get as far down the field as possible. This wind is going to be real against them, Jason, here. They won't be able to clear their line with big kicks downfield, so this is where they have to get as far downfield as possible. It's a great restart.
Yeah,
gone the 10, held up in the wind.
Yeah, good restart there by Rockingham, and they've actually got the knock-on scrum, so they've dialed it in now for the second half, hopefully. That's what we need to see from the restart. Good opportunity here for the Rockingham team with UWA making the changes there in the front row. Marcus Cutler on at the loose head position. We've still got Big Reggie, who's got a bit of a highlight reel for some of his defensive work. We haven't seen any monster tackles from him today, but he has been known to go around hunting for guys. So, and that's what I know Simon Cron likes about him, that he can put some big shots on from time to time. The feed now from Rockingham, and UWA get a very big shove on, but not legally, says referee Petrus, and Rockingham win the penalty. So good opportunity here for the Rockingham club to get a foot into this game.
Yeah, that one there, Marcus Cutler, first scrum on the field. Oh, we haven't found touch.
Oh, I haven't found touch there. I thought that was just going to go out, and it now goes dead. And unfortunate there for the Rockingham team. Just need to probably slow things down a little bit there. And
yeah, so just going back to that scrum, Jason, Marcus Cutler giving away the penalty for his first scrum. He just stepped out and went in on the angle, not pushing square. So giving away the penalty. And I think just here, Jason, I think the Rockingham boys managed to sneak a few meters from where the kick was taken. Smart play. That's veteran footy there, mate. They all know their game.
The hooker just sets up wherever you're like, oh, we'll take an extra 5 there. So, look, I think that it's a hard day for them today at the office against a very strong UWA team. So, we'll give them an extra 5 metres at the scrum for sure.
And we'll see their scrum. So, good strong hit.
So, the 9 for UWA is still on the field, Jarvis Wallace. But I'm interested to see if we can get a look at the UWA 9. Brendan Forster when he comes on the field, as O'Sullivan now goes out to Tufan. We see that pace, big strong, well, puts in the little chip kick, and it's going to find its way into touch just a few metres out from the UWA try line. So a good chip and chase there from Tufan. So saying Brendan Forster last season, unfortunately with a serious injury, but he started the season in amazing form and was absolutely tearing it up in the early rounds of the Premier Grade competition, first half of the season. And as I said, unfortunately, they had a bit of an injury crisis at the back end of the season last year, UWA, which hampered their ability to probably make it all the way to the final. But so they'll be happy to have some players back this season, as the line-out's a little bit scrappy, but they clean it up. Tufan, as you said, looking for work. He's got a pretty mean sidestep on him, takes the ball into contact. Wallace now fishes out, goes out to use, and it's big Reggie Churchard. They can't bring him down 1 metre short of the line, and it's Bungard there taking the ball forward. They've got absolute numbers here, the UWA students, as they go in for the try. That is Sullivan, I believe.
Yeah, and just looking at their number 12, Caleb Gibson, after that big contact with Reggie Churchwood, stays down. I would too, Jason. I wouldn't be in the middle there trying to tackle him, but he put his body on the line there, Caleb Gibson, and he's just having a feeling every bit of what Reggie's been doing in the pre-season with the force, mate. But
I know he probably needs some of the guys around him to make a few tackles. He's put a few in today, the number 12 for Rockingham, and he's probably going, oh geez, can somebody else stand in that channel a few times for me, because I don't really feel like tackling him too often. He is a big man.
Yeah, games like this, it's very important that your back row do a lot of defensive work, Jason, the 6, 7, 8. And we haven't seen that from the Rockingham team just yet, where their back row has been helping the 10s, the 12s get the big shots on and slow the ball down. So they're going to need to step up a little bit here. And again, if they can do another restart here like they did just previously and win that ball off the kickoff, get a turnover or force an error, they'll get them into UW's half. And again, just need some time with the ball, slow it down, do what they do best, rumble it upfield. That's a Rockingham style of footy. They are quite physical, but they just haven't had enough ball to showcase that.
So exciting new cup competition, great way to start the rugby season. And as I said, it is an unseeded draw, so anyone can take on anyone in the first round. As Young gives it to O'Sullivan, he spots a bit of ground, gives it to Tufan, and they seem to be doing the same move off the kickoff here, and that side step back inside to the number 9, Wallace, who has the speed to run it under the posts, and it's turning into a bit of a backs training move off the kickoff there, as the students go in for another try, taking them out to 59 to zip here at Sporting Complex. Some other score updates. Dane, what have we got in the Cottesloe Mandurah Pirates game?
Yeah, Cottesloe are up 24 points to 7 over the Pirates in the Pally v Joondalup match at HBF Arena. We have Joondalup up 14 points to 0.
Jeez, getting a bit of a nosebleed up there at Joondalup. Pally, the reigning Premier Grade champs, I'm sure they won't be too worried with plenty of time in the second half. But how about Arcs at Harrisdale taking on Nedlands?
57-0 there to Neddies in one at Wanneroo at the Roo Dogs home ground. 15-14 West Scarborough up over Wanneroo. Kalamunda 10 points to 5 up over Basie. And we have Soaks 45-0 over Bunbury. They've travelled down to Bunbury, and I think they're making quite a good day of it down there. The Soaks,
they'll enjoy that drive back if they can keep the scoreline like that. I'm sure they'll enjoy the drive back up to Perth.
Absolutely, and 29-0 Southern Lions currently up over the Wolves over at Hammond Park.
So as I said, Dane, the grand final of the Challenge Cup, that's the one you have to win all the games to get to. It's going to be a curtain raiser at HBF Park before the Western Force Brumbies game Saturday on that WA Day long weekend. So an opportunity for two teams to play under the big lights of HBF Park, which will be exciting for them. And then the other trophies, the Shield, the Plate and the Bowl, will be played on a Friday night under lights on that long weekend now, as Rockingham just looking to secure their ball after the kick. And exciting move here, but a good rush up defence there by UWA, and they win the penalty. So
yeah, just getting isolated there, Jason. Number 10, Marshall Love, looked to kick clear, but with this wind, it's not going to be a smart option. It'll just hold up. So needed to just get the forwards to set into position, rumble it up again, and just try hold the ball a little bit longer. Keep it away from UW. That's all they need to do for a short period of time here, and they can start put together some plays. I think they have a bit of pace out wide, but they haven't been able to get it there, Jason. Not yet.
Yeah, and I think this is the time where some of those guys that have been missing pre-season sessions are probably blowing out there because they're a little bit slow to get around the corner and support. And I think this is probably where they're thinking, maybe I should have come back a few weeks earlier, because an absolute big hit there as well by the number
Dante
2, Dante Tatafu. Yep. And here we go by Rockingham. This is what we want to see. Get the ball out, and the ball's played into Tufan, so it'll be a knock-on for UWA. Rockingham will have the advantage. He runs into Tufan, and he's being held up, but it's actually a penalty for a high shot. As you mentioned, just above the ball there, nothing more than a penalty. Those new law changes are coming into play, which it doesn't actually change the game as much. It's just that it's a penalty if you're above that sternum. We still have the same head contact process as we do, and as you see there, the kick for Rockingham after the penalty. And unfortunately, the fly half, the replacement fly half, coming away a little bit ginger there. Marshall Love, I don't know whether he might have actually tweaked something on that kick, trying to belt it. Because of this wind, I think he was really trying to give it some, and he's just pulled up ginger there early in the season as well. Some of the muscles are being asked to do a bit more work, so
yeah, can only hope it's not an Achilles there, Jason. That sort of hobble and ginger placement of his foot after he kicked it. Hopefully it's not an Achilles, and maybe he just rolled it. If we're talking about best outcomes here, but
yeah, that's good. The fact that he's able to gingerly jog off is good. Might just be a little tweak.
Could be a tactical here.
Yeah, I was about to say, might be. I've never seen a player get off so quick with an injury. No, he's going to play him, and he's probably looking at a couple of those UWA students lining up some defensive shots, but they've got the line out here, Rockingham. The back's got their hands on the ball a few moments ago, so unfortunately it's knocked on at the front of the line out by Rockingham and knocked into touch. So first by Rockingham, then by UWA, so we'll have a scrum.
Yeah, what I've been impressed with, Jason, if we look at the Rockingham set piece, isolate that, the last scrum of the first half, they managed to hold steady on a defensive scrum. They came back into the second half, and all, apart from the one where Marcus gave away a penalty from boring in, they've been quite competitive. So hopefully I haven't put the commentator's curse on them, but they have made an adjustment there and improved quite significantly in their set piece, in their scrum set piece, that is.
So we'll have a look at it here now. The two new props on for UWA. The starting hooker's still out there as Vorster comes away with it. Too young, runs into contact, and he's put to ground by the Rockingham defenders. So good effort there. Goes out the back to O'Sullivan again, to Tufan. He's tackled by the Rockingham number 9.
Yeah, we've seen some good shots in here by Rockingham, Jason. This is the defensive set they need. They're getting lined up nicely. Inside ball by UW. Looks like a problem.
Yeah. Big Jack Bromley now, good pass outside to the 21. That's Jack Wickham. And UWA, you're right, improvement there from Rockingham. They got a couple of good shots on, fronted up in defence, so a few of the players will feel good about that, but UWA just very skilled there through some players that have been playing together for quite a while now. A little bit about Rockingham, really strong junior club, Dane. They won the Stephen Fink Award from Rugby WA for having such a good junior program last year. Had a lot of teams in the junior finals as well. So great numbers through the juniors. Great facility down here at Lark Hill when it's not blowing an absolute gale. But it's a great club, and there's lots of young lads around and lots of people enjoying an afternoon of rugby here. Beautiful time of the year for rugby with the sun out. I'm sure when you and I are commentating a game in June, July, when there's sideways rain, we'll be wishing that we were watching a game at Lark Hill.
And I was speaking with Ed Capewell in the clubhouse at halftime. Jason, Ed, big Rockingham stalwart, and he's coaching the under-15 girls at Rockingham this year, so it's great that they're getting the junior girls coming through a standalone program, and off the back of having community 10s of women's last year.
Yep.
The growth in the women's game specifically at Rockingham has been outstanding, and there are some girls that will still play with the boys because they're definitely good enough, but it's great to see that girls program growing. So under 15 girls here at Rockingham, anybody listening and wondering if they're in this area, if there's girls program, yes, come on down to Lark Hill and speak to Ed. He'll get you into the team, no problem.
Rockingham's a restart here after that UWA score.
Caleb Gibson with the kickoff.
And that's a better one from him as it holds up in the wind.
And Ronan Leahy's on as well, Jason. We spoke about him earlier. Western Force Academy.
Oh, look at that step. That's fantastic by him. And he gives it to Hugh O'Sullivan, I think it is. No, actually, that's Bradley Moore. And a good tackle there. Cover tackle there by the Rockingham defender. Yeah, and UWA, look, on the early going, just seeing little bits here, they look like they're going to be a team this year in Conference B. They've got an exciting back line. Got, as I said, two impressive wingers in Ronan Leahy and Tiam Tufan. And whether it's O'Sullivan at the fullback position, but yeah, it's got an electric back line for this 2024 season.
It looks as though Rowan Lee's shaping up at 10 here, Jason, defensively. So they'll be looking to get a lot of line speed on here on the Rockingham back line, who have been set quite nice and wide. This wind is terrible to run into though, Jason. Absolutely terrible.
Well, it's difficult to commentate in, Dane, so I don't know what it's going to be like to play in.
Well, we have the film crew holding on to everything here as well, Jason. So.
Might be blown back to Perth as Rockingham do a good job of getting the ball out there, and they've actually earned themselves a penalty as they try and rumble and exit out of their 22.
And this is where they need to hang on to the ball, nice and slow, get their forward set. People aren't looking to put their hand up to carry, but they'll need to.
So it's been great to hear as well, Dane, in my role with Rugby WA. I've been calling around and speaking to a lot of their head coaches about this Scarborough Rendezvous Challenge Cup, talking to them about who they're going to be rolling out, what do they think about the competition, and one thing was consistent. They all said they were in it to win it. They wanted to win it. It's a lovely, big, beautiful trophy that it can actually galvanise a team, because the trophy is going to be competed for on that WA long weekend, and that can galvanise a club, isn't it? You might just be outside of playoffs and all of a sudden you have a good run in the cup, you get a bit of win, you get a bit of a taste for it, can set you up good for the season. There's a good line out there from Rockingham, and good crash ball there as well by the number 6, and Gibson goes in. He's enjoying taking it into contact now, and a big prop from Rockingham. Takes the ball up the 25 and they earn a penalty. And we might actually see a UWA player taking a bit of a break with a yellow card. That's Marcus Cutler with the high shot, I believe.
Yes, just another high tackle there, Jason. There's been a few in this game, nothing malicious, but it's one thing that we don't want to go near the head. Marcus will have a 10-minute rest. He hasn't been on for long, so...
And I think we've seen a penalty actually go backwards there. To give you an example of how challenging that wind is, maybe the option there would have been for the scrum. But Rockingham now with an opportunity to get their hands on the ball and rumble forward in attack.
Just need to hold the ball here for a few phases. They're getting good support at the breakdown, but nope, turned over by UWA. Great turnover there. Forster.
We've got numbers now. Hughes goes out wide to the no. Oh, I think he's taken into touch there. That's the 22 fan.
We saw some outstanding finishes in the rugby league, Jason. He couldn't quite get his legs off the ground. Oh, too fun. And just got taken out into touch.
So some good cover defence there by Rockingham. They'll take some heart from that.
So we're just going to have a quick chat here. See what the referee's going to talk to Jack Bromley about.
So 10 minutes left in this one here at Lark Hill Sporting Complex. We've got a great day of rugby at the moment. The Western Force Super W team will be taking on the Queensland Reds in pretty soon to this game finishing, so tune over to Stan Sport for that one. They had a great first round win against the Melbourne Rebels, which they'll take a lot of heart from. Some young exciting players there, and then the Force, geez, they'll be looking to put a good performance in against the Reds at home after some close loss against the Brumbies and a couple of some results that they'd probably be disappointed with. But Big Sam Spink back in the 13 jersey, and the talk around the club is about, you know, putting in a performance that they know that the players are capable of. They've got a great squad, so they'll be looking to light it up at HBF Park later this afternoon against the Reds.
And we just saw Caleb Young also spend 10 in the bin, so him and Marcus can have a chat about how we're going to improve tackling, because both were high. So a bit of work there for Alex Steiker, the coach of UWA, to work with his boys when it comes to the season. Needs to ensure that those high shots are not
Rockingham. Can they take advantage of having the two-man advantage? And they get a nice little rolling maul on here now. So this is some good stuff for Rockingham. So roll it forward a good 10 metres. And it's along the number 9, cheering the boys on.
Just need to lower the height here, Rockingham. They got the setup, and they just need to lower their body heights, get that ball out.
See Jack Wickham there ripping the ball out into touch. Find themselves, they'll probably look to do it again here, Rockingham. Just dial up the same move if they can. It's nice that they've started to get the line out working, which is great.
It's unfortunate they're just not the tallest bunch of line out jumpers, Jason, up against Jack Bromley here. But they beat Van der Hayden in the air.
And it's brought to ground now, so Rockingham have possession of the ball. Looking to get something on here. Good it to the backs, goes out to the centre, the number 7 from Rockingham, and he's met by 3 UWA defenders there, but the ball pops out well, and oh, big shot being put on there by
Ronan
Lee. Is that why he was defending in the 10 channel? That was a great hit, and that's a good, clever little kick there by Rockingham. Doesn't really have the chasers to capitalise on it though, as Tufan brings it back, and he has got a mean side step on him. Flicks the ball out through the back of the hands, and then number 20 there was coming back from an offside position, but managed to disrupt the play and get away with that one, as Forster throws a good ball out to O'Sullivan now, and he just throws a dummy and a goose step, goes out wide to Leahy, rewards him for that big shot earlier, and Ronan Leahy goes over the line for a try for the Students. So
yeah, a bit hard done by there, I think, the Rockingham number 12, Gibson. I think there was an obstruction play which Rory just ran behind, but it was very subtle, and ref may have just been out of position there, which with lots of bodies running in the way, you can understand, but they capitalise. Rockingham yet again, UWA yet again on Rockingham's defensive laps there, and that moves the score a bit north. I think there's a little bit of promise here, Jason. Whilst the scoreline doesn't look the way, I think from a Rockingham perspective, there's a little bit of promise when they do get hands on ball. They do look like they can form a bit of shape against the other championship teams. They could prove to be again getting up to that grand final. So I don't think it's all doom and gloom. Their scrum has improved since the back end of the first half, and their lineouts have improved, Jason, against some absolute giants from UWA. They've been able to nab their own lineouts and keep it going. So I think there's a little bit of a silver lining here, in my opinion.
Yeah, look, we can't underestimate that. I mean, this is a very strong UWA team that Coach Alex Steiker has put out on the field. They're not mucking around. Good opportunity for them to have a hit out. So it is, very talented team with Western Force players in it. And one of the good things that Rockingham will get out of this is that they don't have to play UWA next week. So that's one positive. But a very strong performance so far by the Students. And some other games going around. Cottesloe Mandurah 31-14. The Mandurah Pirates, so they're giving him a good game there at Harvey Field. That's a beautiful place to play rugby. Joondalup 21-zip up against Palmyra, unless the Palmyra team managers forgot to score in the Explorer app. That's a big result for the new Joondalup coach out of Munro this year. He'll be happy with the way things are going there. Nedlands also having a good day out in Harrisfield. They're 64-zip, and it's an absolute barn burner at Kingsway with Wanneroo up 21-20 against the West Scarborough team. And Forster here, there's a lot of space for him. Basketball pass over the top now to Wickham at 21, and that is Hughes now at 10. And big hit there by Gibson coming in. He's been really good today for Rockingham. He's had to go through a lot of work, but in the end just runs out of numbers, and Tufan goes through for, no, it's actually going to be called a forward pass. So actually Gibson, he looks good in the 12 jersey there for Rockingham, and as I said, he'd be just looking for some of the boys to get around him here, but that was a big absolute rib tickler that he got in there when you're coming from behind the player and just getting him under the ribs. Really good technique in that tackle as well, right where we want to see with that tackle height below the ball in those lower ribs. They're the ones that hurt. They're the ones that will, when you're coughing on a Monday and you'll think, oh, something's gone there. That's one of that was Gibson that did that one to me. So
and what's also impressive, Jason, and where I would be as the Rockingham coach looking at the positives is Gibson making that big hit, putting that on the UW player, but then he's back onto his feet and he's in the face of Rory O'Sullivan, forcing another pass to Tufan, and goes forward. If he stays on the floor and doesn't make a second effort there, Jason, that's just a try. That's a try walk in for Rory O'Sullivan. He doesn't have to make another pass. So again, I think a few of the boys can take a leaf out of Gibson's book, like you said, get around him and go with him, because he's actually putting up a pretty good showing against a very good team, man.
Yeah, and like you said, making that tackle in the 67th minute as well, when you've had a couple of big boys running at you all day, it's a good effort from him. So it'd be great to see how he goes this season in the Fortescue Championship. Said a couple of teams he'll enjoy coming up against. The Mandurah Pirates just up the road, always a nice little rivalry between them. Perth Irish have a team in the championship. It's always interesting to see what you get with that club and who rocks up for training with them. A few boys probably off the plane this year, over on a visa, ready to run out for the Irish, which will be great. As UWA off the back of the scrum here, a few metres out, looking. It's actually Rockingham looking to exit.
They're rumbling it forward inch by inch, Jason.
Just trying to make a little bit of space here for the box kick from the number 9 and Toulon, and again he does a pretty good job considering the wind there. Chips off maybe 10 or so metres to give the Rockingham team a little bit of space, but UWA will have an attacking line out in their 22 as we're into the last few minutes of this one here at Larkhill.
Yeah, you would think if a UW you'd want to try to set up another rolling maul and practice a bit more of forming that quickly, getting good body height and moving it forward. But we'll see what they do. They don't seem to be too expansive in the back line. Everyone's inside that post, so they've gone up. They do set up the maul.
And it was Jack Bromley who brought them all down, and they score a try now. UWA students from the line out. So exactly what you said there, Dane. An opportunity to just have a look at how that line out's looking 3 or 4 weeks out from the start of the Premier Grade season. So as I said, everyone will have a weekend off. Those Rockingham boys will probably enjoy it after a pretty tough game against the students today. They'll enjoy an extra week to those bodies healed up a little bit.
Yeah, we see Marcus Cutler coming back on after his little break, and Reggie Churchwood heads back off the field. Enjoying a good game there, Reggie.
So if you're keen to see round 2 of the Rendezvous Scarborough Challenge Cup, we get next weekend off for Easter, and then the weekend after that we'll get the draw all done for round 2, and then make sure you tune into the Rugby WA YouTube channel. Lots of great content. Tune into our Instagram feed. Lots of things happening on there. If you want to know what's happening in the world of rugby, tune into that.
So it looks like we're into referees time here. Referee in the middle, sole judge of time, Jason, and the Rockingham boys. Hopefully they can get a little, win the ball at the kickoff. I think they want to just have one more crack and see if they can get over that white line. UWA have defended really well and made it very difficult for this Rockingham team, but yeah, let's just get Rockingham over that last play. No doubt last play of the game. Gibson with the ball, been outstanding as we've mentioned. Forster, Leahy, spreading it wide to O'Sullivan. O'Sullivan dances around 1, 2. That's gone backwards.
Oh, here we go. Here we go, Rockingham. Get the legs up there by the big number 7. Can they recycle the ball and give the fans something to cheer about? But unfortunately it pops out. I'm not sure how that legally popped out with the player on the ground. Maybe he hadn't secured the ball, but there was a little bit of excitement on the stands here by the Rockingham supporters as big number 7 from Rockingham got excited. Oh geez, we all got a little bit of excitement there. And if you, I was just going to say, sorry to cut you off, Dane, if you're keen to tune in to the Fortescue Premier Grade for the 2024 season, we are on Stand Sport, 1 game a week. We'll see who gets the call up for the commentary for that one. It's pretty hotly contested, but we'll know the likes of Mick Collis and Heath Tessman and a few special guest appearances throughout the season. So you'll see us on Stand Sport. As Rockingham, can they get a bit of a sniff here? Give them something. Come on, students, give them something. And they get a penalty here, Rockingham. So
just no release there. They're going to look to have a tap here. Tap and play.
Tap and go. See if they can end the game on a little bit of a high, rolling into round 2. So they'll find themselves in the shield. And they're going to kick for the line out here. Opportunity if it finds touch. And come on, Rockingham, here we go. Line out in the 22.
Again, they've sharpened up their lineouts quite a bit here. Rockingham as well, along with their scrums. Number 18, Slade Bulls, according to the team sheet for Rockingham, has come in and done a really good job back into the first half and all through the second half, both in lineouts and scrums. Here we go. Deliberately hit out by UW.
Yeah, I think that was off a UWA hand. So can Slade grab by the bull by the horns here in this second line out attempt and see if Rockingham can. I think, there we go, and Rockingham come down with the ball. Might have been taken in the air, but they get a little bit of a rumble on here. So the best opportunity for Rockingham to finish on a high. Surely that's not Is that legally brought down, Dane, there by Bromley? Here we go. Oh, there we go. And it's another penalty against UWA, and it's Jack Bromley not happy about that, and the referee's going to have a chat, and he sends him to the bin. I think it was a cynical collapse there at the line out as well. He came unbound around the side. He's not happy about it, but he probably didn't see that there are about 3 Rockingham players in front of him. So, and they go the tap now. The big man, the number 24 for Rockingham, is inches short of the line, and they try and roll around the corner. Can they get some points on the board and have the Rockingham faithful leave the ground happy here?
Last try win, Jason.
Yeah,
that's
I think that's what we're calling last try wins.
Cup rules.
And here we go to the big number 7. He's gone through a bit of work today as well for Rockingham. They're finishing strong. Toulon comes around. He's going to come back the other way and gives it to his prop, who takes it to the ground. UWA contesting. They don't want to concede a point in these last few minutes, but the number 14 for Rockingham, he's handled.
Mark Diver, maybe his first touch today. He's going to have to take some work off the young, or these big forwards, sorry.
Yep, there's a few of them lining up now. They're smelling the try line, and they're committing a lot of the breakdown to secure that ball. And the number 14 again comes back in, and a couple of big shots are teeing off on him, but there is a penalty. And
I think there's going to be potentially another card. No, it's like a no arms tackle there. Number 17 from UWA. We have the 2-2 to the horn.
Well, Mark Diver and the AR is just going to come over and have a little bit of chat here. Good job there by Mark Diver, because he got hit big. Good luck to him. He got up, went looking for work from the wing, and had said, I'll have a second carry.
And UW just have to figure out who's going to be their captain now. Bromley's off. Looks like Caleb Young will assume captaincy responsibilities. Probably a bit of a chat of there's quite a few penalties in this area, Jason.
Yep.
And no doubt the referee will be thinking, have a chat, and I'm happy to put more people in the bin if needed, but see if we can cut it out.
Yeah, UWA trying to set down a bit of a marker as we have that. We've got a tap and go again here, and they give it to the big man, the 24, who fronts up and just gets over the gain line there. Goes out now to number 8 for Rockingham. And 5 metres out now, the home team. Can they finish on a high? UWA rushed up in defence, missed the tackle. They might have some numbers here, Rockingham, if they can get the ball out to them. They've still managed to recycle it. And they don't want to play 35-minute halves. They want to go the full 80, but UWA's over that ball. Not illegally, though. And offside is the signal from referee Petrus Van Arsvegen. So they go the tap again. Oh, some big shots late in the game. And it's been ripped. Marcus, go the length, son, the big man. And it's not what Rockingham wanted. Vorster now bringing it. He goes to the number 10, Hughes. And he's going to go untouched. And it is going to be last try wins. So as Gibson comes across, but Hughes, the number 10, gets the final say in this one, and unlucky there by Rockingham. Really good effort to front up there by UWA, and Marcus Cutler ripping the ball loose in the tackle there. So some good signs there that Rockingham managed to get through a few phases late in the game, but Hughes spoils the party. You could hear a few grumbled fans here on the stands annoyed at that. They wanted to see their home team score, but I'm sure they're going to see plenty of good free-flowing rugby here this season at Lark Hill. And as I said, there's a really nice little crowd here. It's a great facility. I can smell the barbecue going behind me, so make sure you get down to check them out if you live in the area this season, as the conversion is a miss. And we finish up here round 1 of the Rendezvous Scarborough Challenge Cup is UWA. They'll go through in the Cup 85 against the home team Rockingham. Tune into the Rugby WA social media to find out the round 2 draw. Thanks for joining us here, and we'll see you in a few weeks. I've been Jason, you've been
Dane.
And thanks for joining us. We'll see you around.